Good morning. I'm DK Upreti, and I have an opportunity to share my experiences from the last 40 years of research. I started my career at Lucknow University, Lucknow. I was lucky enough that I have teachers like my honorable teacher, Dr. D.D. Awasthi, who was double PhD, one from Lucknow University, Lucknow, another from Colorado University, USA. During these 40 years of my career, I started as a research scholar, and I was lucky enough that I hold the position of highest position in National Botanical Research Institute as director. During this last 40 years or 4 decades of experience, what I have experienced or what I want to disseminate the experiences with me, like we should be a good human being. We called it humility. We should with a humility means you should be a good human being with abilities, first thing. And second thing, we have to follow certain quotients, responsibility quotient, intelligent quotients, we all know. It starts with IQ, intelligent quotient. When we are small, we have less intelligent quotient, but it increases when our age increases, and it changes into SQ. We called it spiritual quotient, means we are attention or we are more devoted towards spiritual things. We go to the temples, we go to different churches. So it changes in our life. But between these two IQ and SQ, we should have RQ. RQ is responsibility quotient. We should be responsible person. How we are responsible to our RQ is how it is high, how we are disciplined. If somebody asks you to come at 9 o'clock, you should reach there 10 minutes before that. You are considered as the person with high RQ or responsibility quotient. If you are not a talented person, but if your emotions are there, if your emotional quotient is high, you are considered as the most successful one. So this emotional quotient is useful, a very play vital role when you work in a team. Means in a team you should have emotions, or with the team members you should not be selfish. You should not be a selfish person. Then only your emotional quotients are high. You should be your AQ is there. AQ is adversity quotient. Means in our life, most of the time, some adverse conditions are there. You should not be panic. You should come forward and try to withstand. I will give you an example. If four persons are sitting on a dining table and sometimes one cockroach comes and climb on a person's shoulder, he should not be panic or not started screaming, because other person will pick the cockroach and throw it out. Similarly, in our life, these problems are there like a cockroach. You should have a high adversity quotient. Then there is one happy HQ, it is happiness quotient. You should try to be happy when there are small things. Means you should not think in a way that for example, I will tell you this river will dry up, then I will cross it, this river on without on foot. So in life, happiness comes sometimes when it is there. You try to be enjoyed up to the greater extent. And what I experienced that in research area you should not change, or you should not change the your area of research, but you try to go for different aspects. For example, what I have done, I have my basic training was in systematics, means it's the identification, taxonomy of these plants, minor plants, we call them lichens. You can see them found growing on trees, bark. So I involved this branch in different aspects. I tried for it. For example, I started with environmental studies, how I can use these plants in carrying out environmental studies. Then I know that it has some unique chemicals. So I started working in networking with, in association with chemists to work on its chemical aspects or medicinal aspects. So starting with that systematics, if I have a nice knowledge of systematics, then I can go for different aspects. So starting from that taxonomy, now we are working with ISRO, Indian Space Research Organizations, means where we can see these plants through satellites. Even we are planning that can we send this plant to the zero gravity to check whether what will be the effect of zero gravity on biological elements. So we it is the synergy, it is the networking it requires nowadays in the field of science. You can do good science when there is networking, when there is synergy between a taxonomist or a chemist, a pharma man, or a biotechnologist. So this is all my experiences which I have shared with you, and I'm quite sure that you will be benefited of the experiences which I have experienced in my life.